So we're here at Festival of the Unexceptional with Simon Hucknall, whose magnificent Fiat 128 has been in the family from new. So what year's the Fiat?
So it's 1977, Richard.
Okay. And why did your dad buy a Fiat 128?
Well, Dad bought his first 128 in 1970.
Right.
When it was European Car of the Year. Used it for 7 years, but like all Fiats of that era, it just rotted away, despite the fact that he looked after it fastidiously. So in 1977, when it was near the end of its life, he looked around at other cars, and we road tested Fulvias, Alfa Suds, cars like that, other Italian stuff. But he came back to the Fiat, to the 128. And so he bought what was the Series 2 version, which had just come out in 1977. And then he was afraid of using it for obvious reasons, because he was worried that it was just going to go the same way as the first one. So he ended up driving around and doing all his commuting in old bangers, and then just kept this in the garage.
Didn't they rot away as well, though?
They did, but he did just like a cycle of little Fiat 850s and Minis and things like that. And so he kept this and preserved it in the garage, and we just used it for holidays, going to Silverstone. He loved motorsport, we both loved motorsport, and that was about it. And then he got into motor caravaning and everything, and so the Fiat just kind of sat in the garage. Dad died in 1999, and I was just busy with work and everything, and so the car just remained in the garage at Mum's house, and then it really got to a point where it needed recommissioning. Obviously 30 years, nothing moves, everything starts to degrade. The engine had seized, the brakes had seized, so I dealt with all of that, but it really needed proper recommission. So I bit the bullet last year and changed the exhaust, changed the brake lines, fuel lines, basically everything that had degraded underneath, but everything else is absolutely original, down to my dad's cigar ash, which still remains in the ashtray.
Okay, that's not obsessive in any way whatsoever.
No. Okay. That was just by accident.
So all of the paint is completely original, never been welded.
No.
How many miles has the car done?
4,900.
Okay, so presumably you won't be using it too regularly and increasing the
more
mileage?
regularly than it's there to be used, but I'm going to obviously try and steer away from salty roads and everything else, because it is, after all, a Fiat from the 1970s.
And can you keep on top of corrosion now?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the thing is, it's a solid base. It's as new.
You're not in danger of it just kind of dissolving before your eyes over the coming years.
And the Series 2 was a lot better. I mean, it had, for example, the Series 1 didn't have these plastic liners, so you got loads of mud and kind of rust around this area. So these were far better preserved, and if you look under the bonnet, it's got all the kind of gunk that they put in the factory. So I haven't changed any of that. I haven't tried to detail it in any way. But that actually made for a more robust car, and one that could stand the test of time a little bit better.
Well, good luck with the prize giving today. Let's hope that your Fiat 128 gets something.
Thank you very much, Richard.
Okay, thank you.